Yo, I was just a little peasant living on a farm when a thing called freedom came and shot me on the arm. I was captivated. I was ready to go, but I didn't really know what I was fighting for. We're fighting for our liberty, our equality in each other. The bourgeois was growing way too much power. These little French philosophers, influenced by London, had the idea of freedom and kept the whole thing coming. Louis and Marie were sitting on their beep, well, we needed bread to feed the masses.
So these men got together to figure it out. It's called the Estates General, and here's what it's about.
There's the first estate with the clergy and the parish priests and the rich families. They owned 1% of the land and were exempt from tax demand.
The second estate was nobility who held high posts in the military. They controlled the industry and didn't like the idea of a stupid monarchy.
Now the third estate was the majority, the large commoners of society. We were 85% of the population, and we barely had any formal education. We weren't slaves, but we didn't have rights, so we made the National Assembly and we were ready to fight.
On June 20th, 1789, we got locked out of our meeting for the very first time, so we met at the tennis courts to seal the deal of our new Constitution we are trying to appeal. We swore to protect liberty, happiness, and the power to fight, but we ended up threatening the king, and he responded with the violence so that he could win. The revolution seemed doomed until the attack and the fall of the fortress of Bastille. The people wanted liberty and freedom from oppression.
Let us in!
And the storming of Bastille marked the end for monarch succession. It also saved the National Assembly and showed the end for royal authority. The Parisians attempted to take down the state and change France to start out with a brand new slate.
The women wanted bread for their kids, so they marched to Versailles where Louis XVI hid. They beheaded some guards to show that they were serious, so King Louis got angry and they became more delirious.
This reflected the revolution aspirations and led the way to the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen. It took away some basic rights of these women. They were minors in a court of law, and nobody believed their point of view that they saw. They felt violated and unimportant, so Olympe de Gouges wrote the women's version of the Declaration of the Women, which was their conversion. The National Assembly didn't want to accept it, so Olympe's declaration was rejected. The National Convention was distrustful with the king. They're ready to fight and let freedom ring. So the National Convention tried to abolish the monarchy and establish a republic territory. The convention took off Louis XVI's head and established itself as a ruling body instead. The Committee of Public Safety tried to keep France safe, but really did the opposite and put many lives at stake. Maximilien Robespierre was part of this committee, and he also formed the largest army in European history. He became obsessed with ridding France of all opposition, which led him down the steps to his own execution. The Reign of Terror killed thousands of people. The cries of terror was heard from the church steeple. Many were drowned, tortured, and killed, and forced to leave the committee against their own will. During this reign, the convention created an army made up of so many men it was quite alarming. Apparently, it was our duty to save France from internal enemies. However, all it did was create more foreign enemies. This terror rage had over 50,000 victims, with no class prejudice according to historic opinion. People were sunk in barges, tortured, and beheaded to purify France and go in the right direction.
When the Committee of Public Safety started to decline, that's when another group stepped into line. When the Constitution was written in 1795, it produced a directory with elders of 5. They came from the Council of Elders and the Council of 500. They were the top authority in the new legislative assembly. It became clear from the beginning that they needed military support to keep on winning.
A guy named Napoleon just walked on by and decided conquering France was worth a try. He took over when the directory began to dissolve, but was faced with problems that France was trying to solve. He re-established the Catholic Church to gain support, and created the Civil Code, which made women unequal in court. He made the Civil Code to set rules to obey, and made sure people did things his way. The code made all equal before the law, and encouraged individuality, toleration, and no more serfdom for all. Napoleon fought this battle and expanded the empire. However, he kept on going and didn't seem to tire. He created a bureaucracy with important prefects, who the government with certain aspects. He also finally took France out of debt. Napoleon defeated the Third Coalition, made up of Austria, Russia, and Great Britain. It gave him the opportunity to create new order. He tried to take down Great Britain, but he failed with his continental system.
During his reign, the idea of nationalism arose, which was the cultural identity of people based on common language, religion, and important symbols. France aroused the feeling by being hated oppressors, but found the strength of the fight and the spirit in others.